Hello. Welcome to Moving Beyond Burnout. My name is Camesha Jones Brandon. I am a licensed clinical social worker, recovering workaholic, and burnout overcomer. Today, we are honoring Black women's labor. So, as you all know, this past Monday was Labor Day. And so I began to think about like, how can I celebrate this Labor Day differently and how can I connect it to Black womanhood? So today is going to be all about honoring Black women's labor. For those who are joining for the first time, Moving Beyond Burnout empowers Black women to cultivate self-awareness and gain practical pathways to overcome burnout for good. So if you're watching this video, please like it, share the video, also subscribe to the YouTube channel. We want more people to find this content that focuses on Black women's work, our contributions, and how we can heal and overcome burnout. So I am excited today to talk about honoring Black women's labor. I am a Black woman who works and makes contributions to my community, to my family. And I think, honestly, Black women do not get enough love, and we have been out here putting in the work. So I want to first talk about the history of Black women's labor in the United States, not to start everything with our history of enslavement, but I think it's important to talk about how our labor, was exploited, how our labor was mainly out of survival. And so that is some of the origins of how, our labor started in this country. We were giving to, other people's families and our communities. And even after we were freed and emancipated and all of those things, we still found a way to make our work honorable, and to also to support the well-being of others in a variety of different ways. So when I was thinking about honoring Black women's labor, I thought about 4 categories that I feel like just totally encapsulated Black women's labor and how to honor them. And the 4 categories are loving, leading, organizing, and innovating. I just came up with these categories in my reflection about how to honor Black women's labor and just to really just put to the forefront what we have done and what we continue to do. So the first category that I have is loving, caring for ourselves and others. So I would love for you to, in the chat, if you're doing work that is loving and caring for others and also yourself, I would love to learn about your professions in the chat or what you're doing to love and care for others. So I put up some of my favorite people who I believe really exemplify loving, the loving part of Black women's labor. So I have the amazing Bell Hooks, who you all, I'm sure, may be familiar with, who has written books about love, Black love, and how we can show up for one another in addition to Black feminism. And then Ayanna Van Zant, she is, controversial to some folks, but I also just love how in her show and in her work and her books, she is constantly talking about how we can show up better, and the way that she shows care for the issues and the challenges that happen in the Black community and how we can heal. And then, of course, Mary McLeod Bethune, who was an amazing educator, amazing activist. And she, founded the National Council of Negro Women, which is an amazing organization. I would love for you all to look them up if you haven't already. And she also founded Bethune-Cookman University. So caring for our minds, our knowledge, our skills, and cultivating that. So that is my first category of loving. And these were the people I wanted to shout out. And thank you, everyone who's been commenting on the chat thus far. Thank you, Marissa, for sharing. You are a social worker in healing and loving your clients. Yes, you are absolutely in the category of loving and caring for others. So my next category is leading. So Black women taking power, speaking truth to power, taking initiative. I think that Black women, we lead so well because of our unique experiences, but also how we can empower others. So the three ladies that I put up who really exemplify leading with power and initiative is Stacey Abrams. I am a Spelman graduate, so I had to shout out at least one Spelman graduate. But Stacey Abrams, I mean, how she just led voter engagement and turnout in Georgia. She was the first Black woman to run for governor, and she leads with such grace and is such a servant leader. And she has really transformed politics in Georgia. Also, Rihanna, Riri. So I just love how she continues to push the bounds. I mean, who knew that after all of her success as an artist, that she would become this amazing entrepreneur, from her makeup to her skin to her clothes to now hair care. So she is just really leading with power in the beauty industry. And so I wanted to shout her out. And of course, our forever First Lady, Michelle Obama. She continues to lead, especially when we think about Work for Girl, acknowledging the needs of Black girls, and also just the way that she carried herself and the way that she led in the White House and even outside of the White House. So I'm in Chicago, and Michelle Obama she's done amazing work in Chicago that a lot of people don't know about. So those are my my shout outs for leading. And so these women are in positions of power, and they continue to elevate others. And next, organizing. So Black women, we kill it with organizing. Honestly, I think Black women are some of the best organizers on the planet. But these women make a way out of no way by transforming society through advocacy and activism. So I have three of my favorites. Ida B. Wells. I mean, Ida B. Wells and her advocacy and her anti-lynching campaigns and her journalism, so powerful. Fannie Lou Hamer, amazing activist in the 60s and the 70s for civil rights. And she is definitely someone who has worked tirelessly to advocate for human dignity and civil rights, and she was not afraid to get out in the forefront. And I wanted to put somebody who is in the modern day times who's done amazing work with organizing, and that is Tamika Mallory. She has done amazing work with specifically focusing on Black women who have died from police violence, and also just advocacy around some of the Black Lives Matter movement. So these are my top three ladies for organizing. And as I said before, I think that Black women are some of the best organizers. And we continue to organize, not just politically, but with whatever is needed in our community, whether it's creating organizations, mutual aid. I think about the women who I grew up with at church. I mean, organizing all these events. I think we do such an amazing job with organizing. And my last category is innovating. So creativity that expands possibilities. Black women continue to innovate. We are such huge influencers, and our work is sometimes recognized, and at other times it is not. But I think that we are truly leading the way with innovating. And these were three women who I selected. Of course, Beyonce, Queen Bee, constantly innovating, pushing the bounds of what we believe is possible as Black women. Issa Rae, just her creativity in terms of her creating her own way, in terms of telling stories of Black women and Black people in such rich ways. And then Toni Morrison, of course, famous author who's written so many books that really helped to see the creativity and the life experiences of Black women. So these are my women that I just chose that I wanted to shout out. I honor their labor. I appreciate everything that they've contributed to our society. And so now I want to talk about how you can honor Black women's labor. So there were three things that I think that anybody can do. You don't have to be a Black woman. This is for anybody. So anybody who's watching this right now, these are things that you can do in your everyday life to honor Black women's labor. One, appreciation. As I shared earlier, I think that we contribute so much to our society, to our communities, to our family, and don't get a lot of appreciation and just like affirmation for what we are doing. So the one thing that everybody can do is just to show appreciation if you see a Black woman who is loving, leading, organizing, innovating, or even outside of that, is just to show appreciation for who she is and what she's doing. The next one is assistance. So how can you help other Black women and assist them in their efforts? One thing that I have constantly seen are Black women feeling just a burden or feeling like they have to do everything on their own and they don't have support. And one of the things that we can all do is figure out ways how we can better assist Black women for all of their work and the labor that they are giving so that we can have better lives. And then lastly, advancement. There are, of course, stigmas saying that Black women are catty, we don't support one another, all these other things. But I believe that that is just a small percentage of us. There are so many ways that I have seen in my own life and even in the lives of so many Black women in my community and, you know, in the celebrity world as well, as how we try to advance and support one another. So if we think about Mary Church Terrell lifting as we climb, right? So like how we can work together to advance and celebrate one another for our achievements and our contributions, but thinking of ways that you can help to advance Black women in our labor and just our genius and all of the things that we have that can be offered to others, whether that is, you know, on your job, helping to advance a woman who is doing wonderful work, whether it's recognizing someone in your community, whether it's advocating for advancement of us. Because like I said, we're killing it. We're doing amazing. And we continue to do more and more that should be recognized, assisted, and just to be appreciated. So that was my honoring Black women's live. I just wanted to take a minute, you know, during this week, as a lot of people took a day off. I took a day off, but to just to take a moment to just show appreciation for the work that Black women are putting in and that we continue to do out of love and care for our community. So next week's topic is overcoming perfectionism to beat burnout. I will have my very first guest, L'Oreal Thompson Payton. She is an award-winning journalist, and she is the author of Stop Waiting for Perfect. If you're someone who is struggling with perfectionism and your perfectionism is also leading to burnout, this is a conversation that you do not want to miss. So I will see you all next week. Same time, same place at 12 p.m. Central Time. Please like this video. Please share this video with a Black woman that you know who just needs a pick-me-up in terms of appreciation, but also who may be struggling with work and burnout. And this is what this platform is for. And also, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you're on LinkedIn, please subscribe to my newsletter as well. It's all in the description section. And for my friends on Instagram as well, you'll see me next week, same time, same place, with our very first guest, L'Oreal Thompson Payton. So I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your day. Take care of all of you and be well.